You probably have an idea of what you'd like to do with the new space, and even what the communities that you work with need. But how can you develop this concept? And what are the details that will make it work? Welcome to part 4, Vision to Reality. Coming up with a concept for your project might sound simple, but there are a few questions to consider as you get started. Think of your project's concept as its core. It's the center from which all your later decisions will flow. With that in mind, reaching consensus and alignment on the concept with your internal team before moving ahead with a project is very important. Having a refined and well-articulated concept is valuable when reaching out to consultants and designers who will support your project through pre-development and into the construction phase. It will also be a critical tool you use in your fundraising efforts. Start off by considering: what problem, challenges, or needs is the project trying to address? How will this project further the mission of the organization? Who are the primary users of the new space or spaces? What are the core concepts of the project? Who are the main partners, or who would you like to be the main partners in the project? Answering all of these questions is a challenge. A building at the concept stage is an endless set of options that ultimately needs to be whittled down into a project that meets the desired goals at an affordable cost. A great place to start is by hosting informal but meaningful consultations with community stakeholders, the people accessing your current programs and services, and the staff operating existing spaces. Those who are familiar with an organization and its services can provide valuable insights to inform and strengthen your concept. One important question is whether your facility can be co-located in a mixed-use building, or if it requires its own standalone building. Increasingly, public, private, and nonprofit uses, like daycares, libraries, recreation centers, schools, and fire stations, are being co-located with housing and offices. This is being done as a way to find synergies in programming, generate revenue, and manage risk. Ongoing updates should be communicated to your stakeholders throughout the development of a project to ensure that it stays on track and continues to develop in a way that is consistent with the needs of the communities. Once you have addressed these core questions, you're ready to connect with a consultant who can support the development of drawings and diagrams. There are a variety of visualization tools that can be used to illustrate a concept, and what you choose depends on your audience and goals. At first, visuals are used to help draft a business case and speak to consultants. Later, more refined visuals are used to communicate your project to the community and municipality. Once you have enough of the concept confirmed, as well as a site, you can reach out to an architect to draft a massing study for the project. Massing studies communicate the mix of uses and programming, as well as the functional design of the project. This simple 3D model will be informed by a planning feasibility study. 3D massing studies are integral to understand the size, gross floor area, and unit count of a project. Mapping is relatively easy and shows a proposed development in its surrounding context. Showing your project in relation to nearby buildings, road networks, public transit, parks, and community services will also inform building design. Mapping may help to emphasize its potential for positive community impacts too. Your planning submission will require the work of an architect, planner, designer, and engineer to develop more detailed illustrations of your proposal, including a concept plan, architectural drawings, and renderings. Concept plans provide spatial understanding of program use within a building and can be done with only minimal information about the building aesthetics. Architectural drawings, on the other hand, use multiple methods of representation to display how the building fits into the existing environment and its effects on the site. Renderings are what most people are familiar with when it comes to concept visualization, as these are the most visually stimulating and lifelike option. Wherever you are in the development of your project, it's important to focus on the needs, interests, and activities of the community. This includes those who will be using and benefiting from the project, as well as the staff who will work in the building. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for the next video in this series where we discuss business modeling.